This weekend we have 3 Army Painter Mega Paint sets up for grabs. Get your comments in on any of the Hobby Weekend live blog posts on beastofwar.com for your chance to win. Hi everybody, I've stopped off with Bo and you're about to show off a technique at the boot camp. Something that a lot of people get wrong, but you want to show them how to get it right.
Yeah. Quickshade.
Yep.
Quickshade is one of those where you think this is there's pigment in it, so you got to shake it first to make it work. What you don't want to do with a Quickshade is shake it, actually.
Really?
Because it gets air bubbles, and because of the consistency, it will keep those air bubbles. So when you dip your miniatures, or you put your brush in,
you're going to drop bubbles out.
You'll have spaces where there won't be Quickshade. So instead, what you do, turn it upside down, and turn it around like this. Because the pigment is very, very heavy in here, more heavy than anything you can put in acrylic paints, it will always be at the bottom. So if it's an older Quickshade, like a Quickshade you have on your shelf for 1 or 2 years, you gotta stir it. I always advise stirring it anyways. While I open it, it's a bit like being a chef in a kitchen, this. Yeah. So make sure you don't do it from one side only, because then the lid becomes harder to get stuck on again. So you do it all around.
Now, we have seen the paint-on version of this. Are you doing a different way of doing the dip this time?
We're doing it the old school way. We're taking the miniature into the goo, and then we're flicking it.
Okay.
Dip and flick, as you might call it.
Okay.
What happens here, and I can show you. When I put up here, this thickness here, that's the stuff, that's the pigment. There's so much pigment in, and you want to have that, completely out. Yeah, exactly.
So how long do you normally stir for?
Depends on how much goo there is, but it should be about 20 seconds or so.
So you're breaking it enough so that the pigment's flowing through the actual medium?
Yes, I break it away from the bottom. One thing that if it's too cold, if you've stored it outside, if you want Quickshade to work faster for you, sometimes we have a bowl of hot water you put in. That will release some of the pigment and making it easier to stir.
Okay.
The warmer it is, the easier it is to stir, and the thinner the Quickshade will be. So if you just want a thin layer and you still dip them, you can make it hotter. But normally room temperature is preferable. See, now it becomes better.
Yeah. All right, well, I'll tell you what. You finish stirring that, and whenever we come back, we'll come back to when you're dipping and flicking. Okay guys, we are out at the back of Beast of War Studios. It's a little bit dingy, but this is the best place to do your dip and flick because it's messy. So, Bo, you're ready to go here?
I am indeed.
So what do we do?
Right, you take a miniature, like this. Make sure it's firmly fixed on a pair of pliers. That's what you call this device. And what you do, not unsurprisingly, is you dip the What you don't want to do is get it on the back of the base, so then it gets stuck to whatever. So it's right here. Let him...
Oh my God, that's so gooey.
It's gooey. That's what I love about it. It will be less gooey though.
Okay, so you're flicking now?
Flicking. And I do it in half circles. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's it.
And done?
Already now, you can see.
Yeah, you've got the worst of it off, and it's just shading in the darker areas. I'm amazed at how well this has worked.
Yes, so were we when we tried it the first time. But if you want to paint 200 goblins or whatever, this is the way, because painting it on will give the same result, but you'll use a little bit less Quickshade. But if you don't have a year to paint it on, I imagine flick and dip is your baby.
Right, well, guys, do you flick and dip or do you paint on? Drop your comments below, because you could win a prize this weekend. We'll move on. We'll see you in the next one. This weekend we have 3 Army Painter Mega Paint sets up for grabs. Get your comments in on any of the Hobby Weekend live blog posts on beastofwar.com for your chance to win.